Imagine your heart racing, your palms sweating, and every simple conversation feeling like a high-stakes performance you never prepared for. For millions of teens, that's not a bad day, it's daily life. Social anxiety is a silent epidemic affecting about 9.1% of teens in the US, and it's part of a much bigger mental health crisis where many young people report persistent sadness and hopelessness. Everyone gets nervous meeting new people, but social anxiety isn't just nerves that fade, it's an intense, ongoing fear of being judged or embarrassed. That's the difference between shyness and social anxiety disorder. Shyness is a trait. Social anxiety is a condition that can shape a teen's entire life around avoiding the things that scare them the most. The invisible wall. So what does social anxiety actually feel like? It's your body's fight or flight response kicking in for a danger that isn't really there. Your mind races with negative self-talk, convinced you'll mess up or look stupid. This can trigger physical symptoms like rapid heartbeat, shaking, or feeling like your mind has gone completely blank. It's that intense dread you feel for days or even weeks before a class presentation. It's avoiding everyday things like eating in the cafeteria, making a phone call, or even going to a friend's party because the fear is just too overwhelming. People with social anxiety often desperately want to connect with others, but the fear of a negative outcome holds them captive behind an invisible wall. They aren't antisocial, they're trapped by anxiety. Why is this happening now? If it feels like this problem is getting worse, you're not wrong. The rise in anxiety among teens is fueled by a perfect storm of modern pressures. Today's teens face intense academic competition, with a staggering 83% citing school pressure as a top source of stress. Then there's the social media factor. The average American teen now spends nearly 5 hours a day on social media apps, where they're constantly exposed to curated, perfected versions of reality. This creates a non-stop culture of comparison that feeds self-doubt and the fear of not measuring up. Instead of building resilience by facing discomfort, technology often becomes an escape, preventing teens from developing the real-world coping skills they desperately need. We can't ignore the impact of the real-world experiences. Negative events like bullying, which about 1 in 5 students aged 12 to 18 report experiencing, can be a major trigger for developing social anxiety. How to break through the wall. The most important thing to know is that you are not broken. You are not alone. You can learn to manage this. It starts with small, manageable steps. It's a technique therapists sometimes call a courage ladder. Don't try to conquer your biggest fear overnight. If a big party is too much, start smaller. Maybe the first step is just texting a friend to hang out one-on-one. The goal is to gradually and gently expand your comfort zone. Next, learn to challenge your own thoughts. When your inner critic starts screaming that you're going to embarrass yourself, ask for the facts. How likely is that the worst-case scenario will actually happen? Focus on what you can control, not the endless what-ifs. Practicing mindfulness and deep breathing can also be incredibly powerful. When you feel that wave of panic rising, simple breathing exercises can help burn off the excess anxious energy and ground you in the present moment. It sounds almost too simple, but it works. And finally, open up. Talk to a parent, a teacher, a friend you can trust. Just saying the words out loud can make the fear feel less powerful. This step is critical because many young people who need help don't get it. If social anxiety is seriously impacting your life, seeking help from a therapist who specializes in techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy can be life-changing. This conversation doesn't end here. The comments section below is a judgment-free zone. If you feel comfortable, share one small step you're going to take this week to face a social fear. Reading through the comments, you'll see that you are far from the only one feeling this way. Social anxiety can feel like an isolating and relentless battle. but it's a battle you can absolutely win. It's not about becoming some different person. It's about learning skills to let your true self be seen without fear. It takes time, it takes practice, and it takes courage. But you are so much stronger than you think. And you've got this. Check out our Patreon page and socials for more resources, and take a look at our Mindful Apparel store to add calm reminders to your everyday life. Links are in the description.